So, like, when you did I've never even. I'm sorry, dude, but I never even saw I Am Wrath, starring Christopher Maloney, Rebecca De Mornay, and John Travolta.
Yeah.
What did you do? I remember you
So,
said you did like the windows or something.
so I'm gonna give a shout out. That was my buddy Ben Maurer.
Okay.
He hooked me up with this, and he has a company called If Pigs Could Fly. I think it's the name. I hope I didn't badger that, but If Pigs Could Fly. But he got involved in this. We had done the movie The Tank before that, and it was a space odyssey movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a giant. This was I think it was out by New Albany, but we did a whole spaceship, space modules, and all these different capsules, and it was an insane movie. And we had done that together, and we had gotten in with a bunch of the movie people that were doing props and such. But we weren't like union people.
Mm-hmm.
But like people were like surprised that there was a shop like this in Columbus. Or like we didn't even know that there was even special effects or people building robots in Columbus.
Yeah.
So like once they found out what we did and we got through that job, Ben was like, "Hey, he's like we're gonna how about another movie?" So I was like, "Okay."
So he was in the mix.
He was in the mix, and he called me in, and we did a lot. I mean, It started off as a lot bigger scope of stuff, but as the job got faster and faster pace, there's only so much that we could take in that it didn't impede on what I already had in my shop.
So they were starting to farm it out to.
Yeah, I don't know how many movies you've been around or worked with, but usually when the schedules start getting really, really crazy,
It's a big zero.
yeah, I'll give you a heads up. They'll start piling it on. Whatever they can throw at you, it becomes you have to kind of
Adapt to.
Yeah, well, you have to put the brakes and be like, no, I can't take on this. They got even as far as like we did one part of this movie, and they were like, "Hey, can we make this door so it can blow apart with Primacord?" I'm like, I am no explosives guy.
Right. You're like, but we can do it.
Yeah, but we did some weapons, and which were like rubber bats. There's this sequence in that film where there's like a bat that he hits and he breaks on the guy, and one is a bat with actual bolts in it. Well, the one he hits him with is actually rubber.
Yeah.
But I painted it to look just like a wooden one, and it was insane.
What was Travolta like?
Well, it's crazy because I went from like Tank was like a midline movie to like this was one that actually had like a big star in it.
Yeah.
And
a couple.
Yeah. So
De Mornay. God, she's hot. I mean,
yeah.
She's very pretty.
Yeah. And
did you get to meet her?
I saw her, but I didn't really get to meet her.
You were too into Travolta.
Well, there's stories about this, but
yeah. So
it was we shooting that was there was a couple scenes. There's a scene in there where he's busting out a wall and pulling out a gun. And me and him basically built this false wall inside the.
You and Travolta.
No, I mean me and Ben. Sorry.
Okay.
Me and Ben built this fake wall in there, and Travolta was to basically bust this drywall out and pull this thing out. And that was like, I just remember when we were getting ready to shoot it, they put so much, this was shot at night, but they had these giant spotlights that they put into the building, into the room, that it looked like daytime.
Yeah.
But it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And the stunt guy comes in here, he goes, "Well, how much did you score the back of that drywall?" Because you got to punch it, right? And I like looked at Ben, and I was like, "Ben, how did you score it?" So like literally at like 1 o'clock in the morning, we're out there, we build test walls, and he scored it just the same way. And so Travolta could come out and get a feel for it, and the stunt guy could come out and get a feel for it and hit the wall and not break his hand, because now there's this fear to set in there, like John Travolta's going to punch this thing and break his hand because he doesn't really know how hard the drywall is.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever punched drywall, but most boys have. But yeah, so it was a little, but it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. That was actually, that was the nicest porta potty I've ever seen on set ever. It had like, I think it was granite.